We look at one Mac Jones. This is an Iron Bowl for him for redemption. Iron Bowl for him for revenge. Iron Bowl for him to get that win as a starting quarterback. And I mentioned here during the call segment that, last season it was his indoctrine. It was his introduction to the Iron Bowl, because prior to last year, Mac Jones, coming from Jacksonville, Florida, didn't quite understand, what this rivalry is, what it means, what it entails, how much it means to so many people. Like, when you come from a different state and you play football at the University of Alabama, even though Coach Saban and the coaching staff may have the video projector board for you, showing you clips of the Iron Bowl and the history and the pageantry, you don't quite get the feeling of what this game entails until you actually play in it, right? So last year was Jones's first year playing in this matchup, and he took his bumps, he took his lumps, absolutely. He went up against one of the more fierce defensive fronts in college football. He got hit. He got up off the ground. He did account for 335 passing yards. He did account for 4 touchdowns. He did have 2 turnovers, both returned for scores, but he showed the leadership. He showed the grit. He showed the toughness. He put Alabama in position to win. But when you talk to Mac Jones, he always says, winning is the most important stat. Winning is the only thing that matters to me. And when Mac Jones saw that scoreboard last year, he saw Alabama was not on the winning side of that scoreboard, and that bothered him. I remember getting a chance to speak with Thomas Fletcher, Alabama long snapper, senior at long snapper. Coach Saban does not allow the media to speak to a lot of the specialists. He doesn't allow the specialists to speak to a lot of the reporters, but Thomas Fletcher got that chance to talk to the media this weekend. He mentioned that. He mentioned how, nobody likes to win more than Mac Jones. You talk about a guy that wants to win, a guy that's got a competitive fire, a competitive nature about himself. It doesn't matter what the sport is. He wants to win and dominate the sport, that being one, Mac Jones. And this time around in this game, he's got more experience. He's got more knowledge. He's got more confidence. He knows now how to go about and maneuver through this game. And even one Gus Malzahn came out and said that, Jones looked good last year, but this year, oh my gosh, he's more experienced, he's more equipped, he's more knowledgeable, he's got more of an idea of how to, go about playing in this game. And then you had even Bo Nix, Auburn quarterback, who basically said, Mac is a great game manager. He puts the ball in the right spots. He's got the receivers. He's got the running backs, so it must be nice. Now, some people took that as Bo Nix taking a shot at Mac Jones. Other people took it as Bo Nix was taking a shot at his own team. Whatever the case may be, all Mac Jones remembers is Bo Nix was the winning quarterback last year and not him. That's what Mac Jones remembers, and he's trying to make sure that this time around there is a different outcome to this Iron Bowl. Now, of course, from the way he played, there were a lot of people that were proud of him, whether it was former players like A.J. McCarron, prestigious alumni members. There were people that flooded his phone with text messages and phone calls and emails talking about how proud they were of him. But at the same time, going back to the 2 turnovers he had, you had fans that went, well, Mac Jones cost us the game. We lost the game because of him. This is on Mac Jones. So you take the good with the criticism in life, and you take the good with the criticism in football. That's just how it is. But this time around, though, big game for him to redeem himself, big game for him to avenge a loss he took last season, and also a big game for him to put himself back as the leader, as the primary leader of the Heisman race. If you look at ESPN right now, because of the surge of one Kyle Trask, quarterback of the University of Florida, ESPN has Kyle Trask now leading the Heisman race, 56 votes for Trask, 50 votes for Jones. So here's a game for Mac to put himself back in the front of that Heisman conversation. Now, of course, all roads lead to the SEC championship game, so that will be the matchup where once and for all, Mac will be able to show that he is the legit, true, Heisman winner in that matchup as Alabama and Florida on a collision course to face each other. But right now, ESPN has Kyle Trask of the Gators above Mac Jones of Alabama, and with Florida facing Kentucky this weekend, Mac Jones has a tougher matchup. It's got the Iron Bowl, big in-state rivalry at home. Tigers ranked number 22 in the country. So if Mac goes out here, has a big game, performs well, he will put himself back as the sole number one candidate, sole number one leader there in this conversation for the coveted Bronze Award. But the big thing for Mac this week is not to force anything this week. I mean, defenses right now are playing Alabama differently. They're not allowing the deep ball passes. They're not allowing the deep routes. They're not allowing this offense to really vertically stretch the field, because they've seen how when other teams have allowed of a deep ball or given up the deep ball, how dangerous Alabama is offensively. So you're starting to see more teams, force Alabama to check the ball down, take the underneath route. And when you have guys like Najee Harris, when you have players like John Mechie, when you have guys like Slade Bolden, hopefully he's able to go in this game. He twisted his ankle against Kentucky on special teams last week. Alabama's been monitoring him throughout practice. But when you have those guys, and when you have players like Miller Forrestall, and you have guys like Jaleel Billingsley, who popped last week, 3 catches for 78 yards. When you have different talents like this that can make people miss in space, that can hurdle guys, that can break tackles, that can create big plays, there's nothing wrong with checking the ball down underneath and allowing your playmakers to go to work for you. So here's a chance for Mac in this game. If Auburn's not going to get the deep ball, if Auburn's not going to get the deep route, then check the ball down with Najee Harris. Let him spin, let him hurdle, let him stiff arm, make a play. Check the ball down to Miller Forrestall. Check it down to Jaleel Billingsley. Check it down to John Mechie. Check it down to your 4- and 5-star guys, of whom when they make a man miss, when they break a tackle, when they're in open space, they can create huge chunk plays for your offense. So this week for Mac, don't force it. Don't try to over-exaggerate it. Put the ball downfield. Check the ball underneath. If you have to, take it what the defense is giving you there on the field. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, and information on your favorite program, the Crimson Tide. Very simple and easy to do this. You can access this by downloading the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app from your iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store. If you've got the Android phone, for your audio listening needs, we got you right here. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Friday continuing the conversation that is Bama football. As always, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link will be in the description. Also, be sure to purchase you that 4-finger bling necklace courtesy of WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. That link will be in the description as well. But until next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing those things legitimately now to not be bored. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. Spend time with family. Until next time, folks, spit in my own words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.